said, when I woke up yesterday, just took a nice deep breath and just appreciated all that we were able to do.
You Katie said you got a text from Obama. Did you get one?
Yeah, I got a nice little congratulatory message from him, and I like those messages. Those are nice.
But along those lines, so I'm sure you saw the report. You guys won't be going to the White House, but it appears you guys haven't really even talked about it yet. What's the truth on that, and what are your thoughts about possibly going there or not?
We hadn't talked about it much. There's probably some side conversations here and there. But you don't plan anything to win a championship. That's obviously pretty bad juju out there if you're getting ahead of yourself in that sense. But it's obviously been a conversation that's surrounded the last, I think, the Patriots and whoever college football team that won, whether them collectively as an entire group or certain people would sit out and whatnot. All I know is I personally would do the right thing for me, and I know the team, we're going to have a conversation about what's going on going forward, but probably more to come on that. Just right now,
Kevin, anything you can reveal on that, or you rather not?
I've said it probably before. Somebody asked me about it a couple of months ago, like a hypothetical. If championship were to happen, what would I do? And I think I answered I wouldn't go. Still feel like that today, but obviously as a team we're going to have a conversation. This is a moment that we all need to enjoy together, and nothing should distract from what we were able to accomplish together and the different kind of ceremonies and traditions that have happened around championship winning teams. We don't want that to taint what we've accomplished this year, so we'll handle that accordingly and responsibly, and like I said, do the right thing for us individually and as a group.
Kevin was just up here and mentioned that, kind of hinted that if he can do something through negotiations to help keep this team together, he would. He hopes that this core can stay together. And certainly, it's the business side, but what would that mean to you to have everybody, a good chunk of this group back?
I mean, everything. That's what we've built here is truly special. It's unique. It's something that you don't want to see end at all. All the pieces that we have are important to the equation of winning a championship and competing for a championship every single year. So it is a business. There are decisions that need to be made every single year, and you got to assess the situation as it is. I do know me and Kay had a conversation along with Draymond, Clay, and Andre last year before he even showed up that was kind of the identity of who we are as a team, that we understand how important it is, the guys that are here. You don't want anybody to have to sacrifice in that sense. You don't want to force anybody to have to take that approach, but at the end of the day, we know what's best for us as a group going forward. And we're going to do everything we can to keep this team together. So I'll have that mindset. KD's going to have that mindset. I know Dre, Sean, all the guys that are up for negotiating a new contract. We'll see what happens. But beauty of what I know of this team, we all want to provide for our families. We want to get all that we can out of this game while we still have the legs to do it. But there are no egos when it comes to that side of the equation when it comes to us as professional athletes. So surely, blessed to be around guys like that.
So just to clarify, you will be considering taking a little bit less if that means keeping this core together?
As we go into the talks and this whole process, which is obviously new for me, I will approach it like I said, to get the most out of that I can as an individual, as a player, and something that I've been working for a very long time in the context of keeping the team together. If there are decisions that need to be made, we'll talk about it for sure.
What do you look forward to in that parade tomorrow?
Unbelievable energy. I remember the first go around. We hadn't celebrated one here in 40 years, so it was a little like we call it new, and you know, a million people showing up, you know, navigating through the streets of Oakland. You know, everybody had an amazing time. Something was talked about for a very long time afterwards about just how much fun it was, how great it was for the Bay, how great it was for Oakland, and you know, just showing the world what the city was about. And I expect that same kind of vibe tomorrow. There's a little bit of experience behind it of how to do it right and how to celebrate right and enjoy, you know, being champions again. So I'm gonna get a good night's sleep tonight and be ready.
Steph, can you share the craziest moment of the celebrations you had with your teammates after winning it all? Obviously, something you can share.
I don't know. I've been actually trying to watch as many videos as I can and all the different angles of the celebration. To see stuff that I didn't get to see live because obviously I'm only one person with one set of eyes. And, it was just a rush of emotion from the time, probably with like 40 seconds left in the game where you knew, you know, we were going to win, to everybody storming the court, trying to find my family, get on the podium, get the trophy, and champagne in the locker room, doing all the interviews after the game. My favorite part of that process was probably going out into the pavilion up top and doing an interview up there, but I got to run through all the fans that kind of stayed around, and we're still out there screaming and yelling at the top of their lungs, and smoked a nice cigar with them, so it was pretty fun.
Will Riley be with you tomorrow? Will Riley be with you at the
Yeah,
parade?
my whole family will be there.
Your thoughts on her stealing the spotlight, dancing?
Yeah, everybody's, you know, to be able to celebrate that moment with your child, and I know everybody who had kids pretty much had them up there, you know, running around. And I got a nice video of her, the reflection in the trophy, flipping her hat around like that. All that kind of stuff is just priceless moments that you know, I'll remember for a very long time, and I'll rub in her face when she's graduating high school and show her how much of a clown she was when she was a kid.
How would you describe the feeling of being a champion again?
What we work for is obviously the ultimate goal, and it feels like it. It feels just, you know, overwhelmingly, you know, just special. Just the whole aspect and the understanding, you know, what all it took to get here. How crazy Monday night was, just finishing the job, and then obviously the well-deserved celebration afterwards. That's why you go crazy, because not just the last 9 months being here, you know, as a team together, but everybody individually, your whole lives, you put time in, and everybody who's been around you has helped you, you know, sacrifice to get to this level. And you know, who would have dreamt, you know, I'd be a 2-time champ? Like my whole family's been saying that to me around the house the last 2 days. Like, you realize this and that? Like, it's crazy. It's just truly, you know, blessed to be on the stage, and you know, God put me here for a reason. I think it's kind of coming to light.
Steph, of the 4 older veterans who got to taste their first championship, which one reacted the most emotionally?
I don't know which one specifically. I know I saw one of the best interviews of all time from David West.
Right.
If you don't know how much a championship means to him after watching that, then I don't know what else is going on. He's obviously been well documented, the decisions he's made in the last 3 years to try to, you know, be on a team that could get the job done, and not just piggyback off anybody. He was an ultimate professional veteran. The way he showed up every day, he was so consistent with his work ethic. His presence on the floor was huge for us throughout the course of the regular season, and especially in the playoffs and in the finals. So happy for him, happy for Zaza, JaVale, Ian, who was here last year. We were so close to get him one. It was something that's truly special, and you go down the list. You know, that's what you play for. That everybody gets to, you know, share a piece of this.
At 16-1 in this series, 3 straight NBA Finals, how would you put this team in the context of NBA championship history?
I don't know, man. It's not for me to debate that until I'm out of my post-retirement days, and I can argue about how great we were, better than anybody else that's playing currently. So I look forward to that day, I guess.
Who would you play if you could play a previous NBA championship team from another era? What would it be?
Probably Jordan dynasty, one of those teams, one of those 6 teams. Honestly, just to play against Jordan, if that were a situation that could happen, that'd be pretty cool.
You guys feel like you are an NBA dynasty?
No, we're NBA champions that are, on the path to be here again next year. That word it's been thrown around a lot historically, and what's the true definition of a dynasty? Who knows? But what we're trying to do is reach a level of success that this organization hasn't seen, and do something in this era of basketball that can hopefully push it forward. So.
Steph, it's been said that it's so much harder to repeat than to get there in the first place. Did you find that to be the case, especially with the expectations you guys had on you this year?
Yeah, we are under a microscope, obviously, from day one, not just from when KD signed, but just all year. Just everything's critiqued, everything's kind of picked apart. You lose a game, the storylines go crazy of what's wrong with this team, Are they going to get the job done at the end of the year? And you kind of have to deal with those emotional swings. And I think this one was special for those reasons. The first one was obviously your first taste, and just getting there is a truly special accomplishment. This one with what happened last year and the expectations around our team, and like I said, what we had to deal with from a retention standpoint all year, get the job done the way we did it. It says a lot about everybody that had a part in it.
Can you
Considering
talk about that new tattoo you got with your dad?
Yeah, we got little family tattoos. Our last name is Hebrew, but I'm just happy he got a tat because I didn't want him to be like that judgmental pops, like next generation. He's in the game too.
How can family supporting you?
They were unbelievable, just keeping things positive, keeping my perspective right about what was going on, but also being there to share and enjoy, the process and the journey with me. That's what it's all about. I've always said, and the truest thing I could ever say is my family and my wife and parents and everybody that's had a huge role in allowing me to be the person that I am, to do what I do for a living. Keep the house together while I'm gone, like all that little stuff that allows me to have the confidence and the ability to play, this game at a high level. That's why I have my family around to celebrate, and that's why you see all the emotion, pour out in those moments, because it's not just, one final series. It's not a 2-week period. My parents have been for 29 years. My wife for 6 years. Just being there by my side and helping me. Wake up every day and feel motivated and feel like I'm doing something good. And that's what it's about.
Steph, are we going to see you and KD on Colbert, Kimmel, shows like that?
I'm not sure. Still fresh being champs. I didn't play in anything before we got the job done, so I'm playing catch up right now.
So they haven't been in touch yet?
Some have, but we're trying to figure it out.
Great, thanks. He's got to get up for his interview. Thank you.